Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to today's video. Thank you for joining me. I am the RV Wingman, and most of the time I talk about RVing and camping and things like that. But today I want to talk about something much bigger than camping and RVing, and that is about life. You know, Christmas is less than 2 weeks away, obviously, and people are getting in the holiday spirit. And the more I look around and I look at the faces of people that I encounter in stores, there is so much unhappiness, so much anger, so much, I don't know, resentment that is built up inside of people, if I'm reading faces correctly. And it's sad, especially this time of year. There's a lot of people hurting. Now, if you're watching this video, I'd love to know what you think, if you think that I'm off my rocker by even bringing this up. But old people like me, perhaps you, we don't have very long fuses anymore. I think most of us don't tolerate nearly as much as we maybe used to when we were younger. I heard it said that whatever you act like when you're young, it's magnified when you're old. So if you're kind of a dingbat and a joker, maybe when you're young, you get more like that when you get older. But if you are very analytical and maybe critical, if you will, you become more so. If you're spiritual when you're younger, you become more spiritual as you grow old. But I think most of us that are in my age demographic, and if you're not there yet, you will be soon, that you'll notice that your fuse is a whole lot shorter than it used to be. And that's sad. I don't think there's anything that we can do about our willingness to jump on somebody and instantly criticize them in terms of wanting to do it. Our fuses are whatever they are. But here is a suggestion. A suggestion is you may not be able to change the length of your fuse, but maybe you can dampen it a little bit. I'm going to give you an example or two of some things that made me instantly get upset and then make me, whoa, recoil. One of them, I've told this story before, is several years ago, I'm getting gas at the gas station. I've got to go inside. I'm going to get a cup of coffee. And so I'm try to be aware and conscientious at the pump. And I leave the pump in. I go inside to get my coffee. There's kind of a line. Okay, get my coffee. And there's this woman that's walking into the gas station. And she's not a homeless woman, but she looks like she's just wandering, completely unaware of her surroundings. But she wasn't drunk or anything. It was in the middle of the morning. And she walked in and, I held the door open for her. She didn't say thank you or anything. That's okay. And then I got my coffee and she's just wandering around and she just wanders up and she just cuts right in front of me. And I said, excuse me. And she looked up and I thought, you are so clueless. You're so thoughtless. There's a whole line of people, lady. I've waited my turn. Get back behind me. And she would have none of it. But you know what she did? She started tearing up. And she said, I'm so sorry. What? And she said, my sister just died. I said, I'm sorry. No. She said, I just left the hospital. And they said she was going to be fine. And I just got a message she's dead. And I thought, Alan, you stupid fool. You don't know what shoes other people are walking in. That woman just lost her sister. No wonder she's in a freaking daze. And I went, man, I got to reevaluate when I judge people. So I go to Walmart the other day, out of dog food. And I go there, and I hate going to Walmart. I just do. The people that work there are, generally speaking, they're not very friendly. They're just kind of going through the motions. And they very little eye contact, very few friendly people. Good morning, how you doing? Almost none of that. They may have a happy smile on their little badge there, but I don't see it. But I go most of the time in the afternoon. So I go in the morning to get my dog food and get my cart. I'm going to buy a couple of cases of it. And I walked in, and these people, the same people that are there in the afternoon, are there in the morning. And there's nobody in the store. It's like 7:30 in the morning. I'm walking out. Good morning. Good morning to you. And I'm walking along, and almost, not all of them, but I'll bet you 75% of the Walmart employees, the ones that are jerks in the afternoon, at least I thought they were jerks, in the morning, they're like, how you doing? Can I help you with anything? And I'm thinking, my God, look what happens to us That's the same people that are rude in the afternoon, and they're not saying good afternoon. They're not saying have a nice day. They ain't doing that. But in the morning, they are. Why is that? Are they trained in the morning? You got to be really nice in the morning and then don't care in the afternoon? I don't think so. I think their batteries may be recharged. I think that there's fewer distractions, fewer people around in the store. They can actually, when you walk past them, they look up and go, "Good morning. How you doing?" Do you see that? Do you see how we change depending upon the environment and the situation? I think that we can't do anything about the length of our fuse, but maybe we can dampen it a bit. If you have any thoughts on this, I'd certainly like to hear it. Yesterday, I bragged on my nephew, and if you didn't see it, I'm going to put a link to that video down below. But I hope you'll watch it. It was not just about my nephew and how proud I am of him, but I am so grateful that our country does have people that are going to take care of us old people, that are going to protect our liberties. People like my nephew. I hope you'll watch that video and use the next couple of weeks maybe as a starting point for practicing a little bit more self-discipline. And I'm going to try to take my own advice. It is so easy to hide behind the keyboard and just attack people. I don't know, and you don't know where other people are coming from. I'm a very passionate person. Just as much as I will tear up at the story of the little old lady who lost her sister, I will fight. I mean, fight for what I believe is right. Not that that is what everybody needs to do, but that's just me. We're all different. Most people, most old guys are a whole lot tougher than I am. They can bottle it up inside. I don't want to bottle it up inside. I think that I am better. At least I'm happier when I just become who I really am. And if I judge people as quickly as I'm willing to judge the little old lady that just lost her sister, or judge the jerks that work at Walmart that aren't really jerks, because I'm a jerk too. I get distracted. It's hard for me to focus, hard for me to pay attention. It's when I'm driving, it's when I'm trying to have a conversation with people and they pick up their phone and they do this. It drives me to distraction. I'm not saying be a doormat either. I just wanted to use a few minutes today to just, I don't know, bring up the whole point of it's the holiday season. We need to be thinking of others. Don't be thinking of ourselves quite so much. There really is joy in giving. There really is. It's so hard to teach people when they're older if they weren't taught when they were younger. When I was a boy on Christmas, and I never really thought about it then, but every Christmas, my family would put together a fruit basket, this old wooden, I don't know where they got it, probably the grocery store or something, but apples and oranges and pears and things like that. And we would go to the other side of the railroad tracks. And I didn't know these people, but we would go up to the door and we would knock on the door and we would give a fruit basket to these people. And the older I got, I thought, why did we do that? We don't know them. They're not going to ever give us anything. And then it hit me. It's not about them giving us something. It's about us giving them something. So that said, I also want to talk about gratitude. If somebody's given you something, they've forgiven you, they've loaned you something, and you haven't expressed enough gratitude, if they tolerate you. I'm going to tell another real quick story. So I got 3 Chihuahuas, and sometimes they have accidents in the house. They got their little area with the pad, and they pee and they big dirty and all that kind of stuff if I don't take them outside. And every morning, one of those 3 dogs, at least one of them, will leave a big mess for me, and they'll miss the pad and it goes underneath the pad and I got to mop everything up. I'm an early riser, and Lisa never does it. Never. My wife never does it. So this morning I got a bad back. This morning I'm down there wiping up, and it was a pretty big mess and my back's hurting. And I'm thinking, why doesn't she ever do this every day? I'm up at 5 o'clock, 5:30, and I'm mopping up the dog pee, stinking up and and the whole deal. I'm going to have her do it. I'm going to get her to start helping me with this. So I finish up, walk over to the sink, and I looked in the sink. There's a bunch of dirty dishes in that sink. And I went, wait a minute. Alan, those are all your dishes from last night that you left there. These dishes are going to magically disappear and be put away. Uh-oh, my wife does that. She picks up after me because I can be a real slob. And she never says anything about it. And I went, don't say anything about the dog pee. Be grateful that you got somebody that will put up with you being a slob, Wingman. And why don't you just pick up the pee and be quiet? Because we all have to pull our fair share. We have to pull our weight, so to speak. I told her, I said, later on, I said, you know what, honey, I was going to yell at you about the dog pee. I was going to get on you. You need to help me because I'm doing it every day and I don't like getting it on my hands and the dogs need to blah, blah, blah. I said, but I decided not to do that. She goes, how come? I said, because I've got a dishwasher and she's sweet, she's kind, and she doesn't bitch at me. She started crying. She's like, oh, that was so nice. I said, but it's the truth. And I said, why are you crying? She says, because you've never told me that. So anyway, told you it's going to have nothing to do with RVing and camping, but just a little bit about life. These campfire conversations, they are meaningful to me and not to very many people. The people that join me here around this campfire, you're probably a lot like me. I read your comments and gosh, so many of us have got so many things in common. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you spending the time with me. And I'm hopeful that maybe just for a little bit, you'll go, you know what? I need to be a little bit more tolerant. Those people that I thought were jerks and idiots, I can be a jerk and an idiot too. And use the next few weeks as I said, a baby step, a starting point to try to make some adjustments. Doesn't mean to be weak, not at all. It just means to be more sensitive. I think that the wisest people I've ever met are this combination of a flawed individual with lots of experience. They've got humility, they've got forgiveness in their hearts, they're grateful. I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much. If you would, hit the thumbs up button, maybe drop a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am the RV Wingman, a former campground owner, lifelong lover of camping and fishing and hunting, the great outdoors, and most of the people that do it most of the time. And I love you for spending time with me. There are people that are very sad this time of year. I want you to think about those people. Think about one of them in your life. You go, I wonder what they're doing. Don't text them. Call them. Call them. Listen to them. Ask them how they're doing and really listen. I promise you, it will make their day. It'll make you feel so very good. All right. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. Merry Christmas, everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Hi, it's the RV Wingman, and if you're looking for an honest RV dealer, one that will work hard to earn and keep your business, I hope you'll check out the RV dealers I trust. I really do trust them. I think you can trust them too. Go to rvdealersitrust.com, rvdealersitrust.com.